Welcome back to His and Hers Movie Podcast. This is episode number 54, featuring a review of the brand new horror comedy film PG Psycho Goreman. I am one half of your hosting duo, podcasting out of this southwestern Pennsylvania side of the state on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. My name is JP. Joining me tonight, as always, is Carly, who's also podcasting out of Southwest PA. Happy Valentine's Day, Carlos.
Thanks, buddy. Happy Valentine's Day.
It's only Valentine's Day for 2 more minutes.
You are correct, as it is 11:58 on 2-14-2021. So, yes, 2 more mins and we are out. What have you been up to? How are you doing, little guy?
I am doing pretty good. You know, vomit-free since 03.
Shut up.
What?
You're annoying. That's not
Why am I annoying?
Because, dude, what, you really have to say that?
Yeah, I'm vomit-free since 03.
Oh my god, I didn't even put Psycho Goreman on my watch list on Letterbox.
I feel like you're undervaluing the fact that I am vomit-free since 03.
Because I don't believe that you are.
Why?
Because I just feel like it's fake. I don't know, dude. Like, that's a long time to be vomit-free, and I think you're just stealing it from that show.
What show?
Wait, what the hell? This doesn't make sense. Okay, anyway. You know, freaking How I Met Your Dick. What?
Okay, but why would why would that? I don't understand.
What do you not understand?
I was vomit free since 03 before that show even came out.
Well, buddy, I'm just trying to. I feel like you might have vomited once while we were friends. You've not been vomit free since 03. You tell me drunken stories all the time. You're like, yeah, back in 2011. You just told me a story. You were like, I was in the backseat of my mom's car vomiting out the car.
No, buddy, that was before 03.
No, buddy, do you know how old you are?
Yeah, of course.
How old are you, buddy?
28.
No, you're not. For one thing.
Alright, dude, come on.
Come where?
Why are you trying to rain on my vomit-free parade?
Because I'm just calling you
Why are you trying to vomit on my parade?
I'm not, buddy. I call them as I seize them.
Okay, but you're a liar.
When?
Okay, so what's going on?
I have had a week. You and I, hung out yesterday as per our Valentine's Day extravaganza, and that was fun. Besides that, I started my new job this past week, and so far, so good. Seems like a pretty positive place to work. One thing is nice, there's like no one in the office right now because it's like COVID and everyone has been working from home, so there's not that many people there, but either way, the people I've met have been very nice, and the job is interesting. Definitely something different than what I'm used to, but I think I could get used to it and grow to like it, so I'm happy about that. And what else? I helped my mother move today, finally, into a different place, and, well, into my grandpa's place, that is. So that was exciting. We had to move her cats. And then I went home, spanked around, and now I'm here.
Cool.
So, yeah,
my week, pretty basic. I'm a little bit stressed that it's going to snow a lot tonight.
Right.
It's supposed to. Which is annoying. I know that we have listeners out there who don't deal with snow, but it's one of those things where, like, kind of used to it because it's like our whole life we always deal with it.
Yeah.
In the winter, but you know, at the same time, like, every once in a while I wonder what it would be like to not have to deal with it.
Right. I mean, Yeah, I feel like I've driven in it so much this year that it doesn't even faze me when it's going to snow a lot, because I feel like I just already, like, I just know, I'm like, okay, bring it on. But
it seems like it's actually a harsher winter than the last couple we've had.
Well, yeah, dude, last year it didn't even snow, like, there was not one, I don't think there was one bad day.
Well, there was definitely at least two.
No, there wasn't.
I
But anyway.
drove in it twice last year, don't tell me.
Nobody. But yeah, I don't know, the snow, I keep looking at the weather, and it's one of those sketchy things where it keeps getting pushed back, and also the percentage of snow goes to, like, 30%, but then, like, tomorrow at 6 p.m. it says 100% chance, so now I'm more scared for tomorrow night than I am, like, for it to, because it was supposed to start tonight, but it keeps getting pushed back, and I'm like, either it's not going to happen, or it's going to be really bad tomorrow going into Tuesday instead, in which case sucks, because I would have to work the next one. The
way that I see it right now is it's supposed to start at like 4 a.m. tonight and go until like 1 p.m. and then take a break and then start up again in the evening.
I see. Yeah, it's definitely annoying.
I think I'm going to pop in My Bloody Valentine after this recording session.
Aww. I really wanted to watch that.
No. Don't you own it?
Just on the double pack of April Fool's Day.
That's not even the uncut version.
Oh, really? Oh.
Really?
Oh. Yeah. I want to get that one on the Scream Fact. That is one that I would like to own, because I do enjoy that move quite a bit, and I wanted to watch it yesterday. I kept dropping hints. But that's what I wanted to watch, but that is not what we watched. But we will talk about that later. But yeah, so it was a pretty good week for me. Weekend before that, I had filmed that movie. Oh, that was what I wanted to say. We released our first episode of Slumber Party Massacre, aka Lacey did, because she did the editing on that. Thank you to her. And that released yesterday, and we were all very shocked and pleased by the amount of feedback it already got. Like, people... Because we made a group page, and as soon as the episode posted, it got like 50 likes, and that's crazy for a show that's brand new and people probably didn't even listen to yet. And now people are starting to say like they enjoyed it and thought it was funny and thought we worked well together, so that's very, very nice, reassuring feedback, and we plan on recording at the end of this month again, and yeah, we're going to try to, keep a normal monthly schedule right now, but that is great that we got so much support. I wasn't really expecting that right away. I know Lacey kind of was, and we kind of said like, yeah, we'll probably get kind of big because we're like an all-girl podcast and there's not really that many around, but I didn't expect it to be right off the bat like that. So
yeah, so make sure you shout out his and hers.
I will, buddy. I will. I think I did. I think we said where we were from on the first ep.
No, but I'm just saying, you'd be like, yeah, it's like really good podcast. I think everybody out there would enjoy it.
All right, I shall do that on the next show. In the middle of nothing, I'll just be like, by the way, I have this awesome podcast.
Okay, so, yeah, so that came. That's officially out now.
Yes, dude, it is.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
What do you mean? You're literally making arguments on a post about people talking about it. And you don't even know that it's out? Take a drink. Take a drink. Take a sink.
But anyway, so check out Slumber Party Massacre. Back a year ago, what's that?
It's on Dark Discussions, like our pod too. So yeah. Yes.
Like a year ago, when you guys were coming up with that, I thought it was like a great idea.
Yeah, and just kind of out of the blue, Lacey was like, okay, I think I finally everything's ready, and let's record this day, and everyone was like, okay, sure, and then we all did it, and it came together, like, really fast, like, out of the blue, which is cool, because I feel like where everyone's, like, in a better mindset this year, and everybody, I think when we started talking about it, I was kind of more busy back then, and kind of a little worried about starting a new show.
Yeah, because you were doing, more pods back then.
Yeah, so I had a lot going on, and it was probably around the time I was doing the summer series and all that stuff too, so I was like extra kind of overwhelmed with potting and also, you know, prepping for 22 shots, top 10, whatever we happen to be doing. So,
Right.
But yeah, when we started this time in January, I think it was a good time to start. And hopefully our schedules will all keep aligning and we shall be a success and get famous and I can leave you in the dust.
Right.
Right.
So, let's see here. What else? This week, what did I do? I took it really easy. Monday, I actually was like really, really not feeling good. So I switched my work day. I was supposed to work Monday, and I was going to be off Friday, but I switched it to work Friday and be off Monday so I could recover from my illness.
Right.
And, well, that made me miss 22 shots.
Oh, no.
I believe that's the 4th or 5th episode I ever missed out of 205.
Oh.
So I was really sad about it, and especially because the films they were covering was The Video Dead and Terror Vision, which is a really fun double feature.
Oh, buddy.
Right.
Did they say it went well, though?
Yeah, they said it went well. Our Twilight show posted, and surprisingly, people were enjoying that show. I mean, dude, literally, when we were done with it, I was, like, miserable. And, like, I think Moods was joking about retiring. And I was like, yeah, I think I might, too.
Yeah, I'm afraid, you have me, like, afraid to even listen to it, because you make it out to be the worst piece of shit in the world. But it seemed, I noticed, too, that people were having a fun time with it, so...
Well, I think the problem is that me and Moods talked about this afterwards. I think the problem is we tried to take it 100% serious and treat it like a actual, like, we're going to review these movies critically. And that's fine to do because I do think everybody expect us to just shit on them with no reason to back it up, you know, just because they're not there for little girls or something.
Yeah.
But we actually, and I kept saying in the chat, I'm like, yeah, these are, you know, not for us, but there's actual problems with filmmaking wise with these films too. It's not just that they're not for us.
Yeah.
And I think that we really focused on reviewing the films and not really having fun making fun of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we didn't really get we took it too serious. Like, I'm glad we took it serious, but we took it too serious.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, because I do appreciate that you guys do take everything serious, because there are pods where they're just cracking jokes and, you know, making fun of movies that clearly are bad movies, and it's kind of annoying to listen to. So I do like that you actually put care into it, but I could see that being annoying after, especially because it's not just one move, it's an entire franchise of moves that you had to review. But yeah, glad I did not participate in that show, but I shall go to I just finished Paranormal Activity, actually, so.
So another thing about that show is, like, it was, like, just really cringy to, like, grab the stupid thumbnail, like, make the thumbnail and stuff. I was like, this just doesn't feel right. So yeah. I'm glad we've moved on from that, honestly. It was
looking at the thumbnail, I was just thinking, like, of that posting to YouTube and someone just finding your podcast for the first time and that being the first impression that they have of you, and they think your show is, like, that type of show.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is okay.
So that posted, and then they recorded our next episode, and we're actually taking, like, a week off kind of next week. We're not actually, we will be recording, we're just not recording a show. We have a commentary to do, which we haven't had one of those in, like, 2 years, and then we have, we're going to record some reviews for our next What We Watch show, because that's about done as well.
Great.
What else? I think that's about it. pretty basic week other than that. Oh, I have something that I wanted to mention.
What?
So, I think this was like a couple days ago, but they did in fact announce the drive-in titles.
Or,
April Ghouls.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
What are they?
Well, buddy, as you know, I'm trying to find them.
Alright, well, I mean, I remember some of them, but I don't remember all of them.
I can never find the dang page, dude. Like, they call it like a million different things. They always change the page.
Well, it's because there's like the page for the regular drive-in, and then there's like the Superama, and then there's like April Gold. Yeah, I used to get that confused too. You have to like look up the actual event. Well, no, actually, you want to look up the page because that's where they post about it. So.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a drive-in that we go to every year. It got canceled last year, unfortunately. I just felt like it was so unnecessarily canceled, too, now that I think back.
Yeah.
Everybody's in their cars and stuff, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changed since then. We're still doing the same thing.
Not to mention, like, a month later, all drive-ins opened and made this major comeback. So it was, like, it was really just bad timing for them to cancel that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
But... yeah, in fact, we even went there a couple times after that.
Yeah, we did.
So, April 23rd and 24th, I did request off work for it, so hopefully everything goes as well. It is a special, so they've entirely throughout last year's lineup.
I don't even remember what it was last year was going to be.
There was some cool stuff. They had like a underwater creature night with like tentacle or like reticulus or something, and I don't know, a bunch of stuff I can't remember. It was, I thought, the Piranha and Boggy Creek, which we did end up seeing Boggy Creek anyway, but yeah. So this year I'm not super stoked on it, honestly. It bums me out a little bit. So this one's back to the 80s weekend. So we have, on Friday, it's 4 movies per night. That's how they do it. Friday's lineup is Slumber Party Massacre, which I'm most excited for.
Yeah, which I clearly just watched. But, I mean, it's a fun movie, so I'm still happy about it.
Sleepaway Camp, which we've seen.
Right, which, I mean,
I'm not hating that. I'll still enjoy Sleepaway Camp regardless.
Me too, yeah. Both of those are fun films that don't really get old, so.
Pieces, which we've seen.
Which I'm sick of.
Yeah, I'm sick of Pieces, too. We've only seen it once, though, but I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And Edge of Axe, which I've never seen.
Me neither.
I know Arrow just put it out this year, though.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, so that's sort of your slasher one. And then Saturday night, we have American Werewolf in London, which I'm fine with, even though we've seen it.
Yeah, it's fun.
At least we've never seen that at a drive-in specifically.
Right. We did see it in the theater, I think, last year, but no drive-in.
Yep. The Howling, I'm fine with. We've never seen it. I'm fine with it, but I would have preferred something else, like Silver Bullet or a different. If we're gonna go werewolf, Ginger Snap, Silver Bullet, Dog Soldiers. Hell, I'll take most werewolf ones over.
Yeah, I don't really like The Howling too much.
I don't know. It just never really did it for me. I don't know why. Yeah. And then this one I'm probably most excited for next to... This is actually probably the most exciting out of all of them for me. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yes, that is cool. That is very cool.
And then the last film is Mausoleum.
What is that movie? What's that like?
It's like an old 80s movie. I want to say, I thought maybe, what's his name? Bill Paxton was in it, but I'm not, might be thinking of another film.
I don't really, it kind of bothers me how it is, like, slashers, and then you got 2 werewolf movies, and then 2 random other movies. Like, they should have made it all work. I hate when themes are, I know it's an 80s theme, But
Well, I think that it's like maybe like Monsters is the second night. I don't know. No, that's not the one with Bill Paxton.
oh well.
I don't know. It looks cool though. That one looks like the coolest to me out of all of them. Honestly, out of all these movies, I've only not seen 2 of them. And what's funny is, out of all the movies, I've only not seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8 on the big screen.
Right. Yes.
I mean, I think we're just seeing so much at this point that it's rare for us to not see something.
I know it's like almost losing its excitement, but I mean, I'm still hot. Like, I don't know. That lineup is kind of fun. I'm most disappointed with Pieces. I think because
here's the problem.
Don't get the hype with that film.
I think for me, it wouldn't lose its excitement if it wasn't just within like the last year.
Yeah.
Like, we just seen American Werewolf in London.
We also just saw Sleepaway Camp at a drive-in. But, I mean, I like Sleepaway Camp enough to...
That's what I'm saying. We just saw Pieces, too. We saw Pieces last year, right?
I think... Probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, was that with Sleepaway Camp?
Was it? Yeah, I think it might have been the... Yeah, it was, third movie, I think.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of the issue for us, is that we've just, if it was like 3 years from when we saw it, it'd be fine. Like, if they showed Phantasm, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Even though we've already seen it. It's just like, that happens to us a lot, too, it feels like, you know?
Yeah, it's mainly, it's like the drive-in. I feel like the drive-ins all get the same moves. But, I mean, Halloween 3, that's
huge.
Cool one. Yeah,
because that'll only be
unique.
Out of the entire franchise, the entire Halloween franchise, I've only seen Halloween 1 and Halloween 20. What was it, 2018?
Yeah.
I've only seen those 2 in the drive-in, or on the big screen.
You didn't see Rob Zombies?
Nope, neither of them.
I guess I've only seen Rob Zombies and Halloween 2018 then.
I feel bad about complaining about it, because I know there's people out there who don't get a chance to see a single retro film on the big screen.
Right, we've seen over 100.
Oh yeah, and by this point, like, we're just snobs.
Right. Yes.
Dude, honestly, like, I'm gonna look back on the COVID times though over the summer fondly.
Yeah, seeing.
I know that's crazy, but like, wasn't it not cool to be able to go see like Beetlejuice and Breakfast Club and Back to the Future? Yeah. And even though there was a lot of the mainstream movies, it still was like fun.
Yeah. Then what they also did, that was when we saw Christine in the car and what else? Wasn't there like another night we went to that was like retro films? I feel like all I'm thinking about is when we saw that horrible Followed movie. But
you haven't been updating the page, by the way.
Where is the page?
We'll have to get on that.
Don't act like there's a link to this page.
I gave you the link.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Just giving me a link 3 years ago doesn't mean I just have it on hand.
You were supposed to update it as we went.
No, you were. You're the one who makes lists. You're the one who's the list.
Here's the thing. You gotta buy us tickets on April 1st, because I don't want to miss that.
Okay, dude.
Okay.
I could buy them right now, probably.
No, April 1st.
Why?
That's when they go on sale.
Oh, okay. I thought
that's when they're available.
I thought they were available like as soon as it gets announced, but whatever.
Nope. Advanced online tickets will be available April 1st.
All right, cool.
Okay. Anyway, so what should we do now?
End the pod. What? Yes, what we watched.
Okay. Well, I guess you can go first since you have too many.
How many do you have, buddy?
What's the last one that I reviewed, and I'll tell you.
Veronica.
I have 3.
What?
I have 3.
What?
If we're not counting Hellraiser, I have 3.
Yeah, I'm not counting Hellraiser.
So I have 3.
Buddy, I've already watched like 63 movies this year, and I feel like that's unhealthy.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I'm only at 60.
Yeah, I feel like it usually takes me like 3 months to watch that many, and for some reason I just keep watching The Move. I don't know.
I pretty much took a week off last week. I only watched 3.
Like, I've been in the mood to watch moves, like multiple a day on the weekends, or whenever I have the time.
I do too a lot, but like last weekend I just was having a rough go. So last week rather.
Yeah, I've been watching moves for fun, and also, like, the 2005 moves and ones for podcasts have been fun as well for the most part. Now, I did just watch a movie just now that I did not care for too much, and that kind of killed my vibe. But other than that, I've been rather happy. I will talk about it in a minute.
So go.
All right. Okay, first up, as per my Survival 5, I watched The Wig from 2005. I talked about this, I believe, on the pod before, because I watched it just last year. This is one I had bought at that thrift store thing inside the Uniontown Mall and thought it looked cool, but I think it's Korean, something. It's like an Asian film, and it's essentially about a cancer patient who gets out of the hospital. She has a sister who was mute due to an accident, and she has these pills that she's taking. They're supposed to be like this miracle cure for her cancer. So she's allowed to leave the hospital, and her sister gives her a wig as a gift, and it's this beautiful wig. Gives her all this confidence, and it turns out the wig is haunted and kind of possessed by this ghost. So the girl starts sort of acting weird, overly confident, kind of cocky, kind of like a bitch, pretty much, just completely opposite her personality, and her sister's all like, what the heck, but not really saying it because she's mute. But yeah, that's The Move. It's a good one. I mean, it's I wish there were a little bit more scares, because I feel like there's a good amount at the beginning that got me. Both times I saw the movie, they made me jump and were creepy, and good sound design and stuff like that. But then as the film goes on, it almost feels like it turns more into like a drama sort of film, like about the sisters conflicting with each other, and kind of just loses pace a little bit. But overall, it's not bad. I just wish it had a few more scares, and there's like a gross scene in it that I enjoy and made me have to look away. But I give that like a 7 out of 10. And then after that, as per watching movies for fun, I watched House on the Edge of the Park from 1980, starring Mr. David Hess. And that, of course, is one that you just did on your pod not too long ago. And it's where these two guys are invited to this sort of rich person's house for like this house party get-together thing. Well, they kind of like invite themselves, essentially. They fix up the girl's car, the one guy does, and they're like, yeah, we want to party. We were going to go to the disco, but we shall go to your party and crash it. And they're like, okay, whatever. So they go to the party, and then David Hess essentially gets the vibe that they're being kind of made fun of, especially his friend, because his friend's like just a little bit goofy and is dancing, and everyone's kind of laughing at him, and he just feels like, they're laughing at him, not with him. And then there's this one girl who's kind of a tease. So he gets mad, and as David Hess does, he takes the whole party hostage and does a bunch of rapey stuff and stabby stuff and stuff like that. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I really like David Hess. I wish he was still alive, because he is somebody I would have loved to have met. But it was definitely a great film. I enjoyed it.
How about that music?
The disco music?
No. The like main theme.
Oh, see, I don't remember that, because I keep getting the disco song stuck in my head that they dance to in the movie. It has been stuck in my head for a week, and it's annoying, and that's all I can think about. So I don't...
David Hess is like such a amazing actor that just didn't get enough.
Yeah, it is a shame, because he is really, really good. And I also have that movie Hitchhike, and I've been wanting to check that one out, because that one seems pretty good too. But honestly, by scores and themes and stuff, I don't recall a lot in movies. That's one thing.
Yeah, but the one in House on the Edge of the Park is really good.
Yeah, like, I'm completely blank on it. Like, I just remember the disco music, but...
Maybe this is it. Oh, no!
Oh, no! Oh, God!
It's an ad.
Oh, no!
So what did you think about, like, David Hess's performance?
I thought it was cool because he, you know, he's playing like a bad guy, but he's good at, it doesn't feel like, oh, he's just rehashing Last House on the Left. He's actually, you know, playing a different form of a bad guy type of character, and I think he does very well with that. He's just a great villain, and he's also menacing in a way. You know, at first he doesn't seem like a bad guy, and he's kind of like seductive in a way to that girl, and just seems like a regular, you know, sort of kind of disrespectful to women scumbag, but then, you know, he kind of goes full force, especially towards the end.
So do you think that it's better than Last House on the Left? Because people say that it's a better version of Last House on the Left.
I do think it is.
By the way, this is the score.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now
you can continue talking.
Okay. It sounds like I'm giving a monologue. What was I saying? Oh, Last House on the Left. I think I do like this movie better. I do think it's a better film than that, but I also don't really compare this to Last House on the Left, because I don't think it's like the same type of film, just because I always thought this was going to be like kind of like that Night Train murder thing where it's like a shot-for-shot remake almost of Last House on the Left, but it's a different movie. It's just because there's rapey stuff doesn't mean it's the same film, and the title sounds the same. Like, okay, whatever, houses. But I do think it's better, though, of a movie.
Now do you remember the theme?
Yes, I do. As soon as the first note hit, I remembered it.
It's awesome. It's called Sweetly. And it plays like at the beginning, and then there's like just the instrumental of it, and then it plays at the end too.
Yeah, I remember
it always stands out to me. I'm not huge into scores and paying attention to them and stuff like that, but like I just love this. It reminds me of like a 70s porno.
Yeah. Yeah, at the beginning when he's like, that scene of them just kind of driving through the night, and it does feel like a porno. But anyway.
Yeah, but the score was done by Ortolini, so.
I see. I love Tortellini.
So like, I know you're not a huge fan of Italian films.
Right.
But do you think that's one of the best?
Yes.
I do too.
I mean, this isn't... See, buddy, I'm not a fan of Giallo. I've said this a bunch of times. It's different than...
Yeah, but this film's in the 22 Shots Hall.
What? Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Are you listening to me? This isn't a Giallo, is what I'm saying. Yes. I'm saying, because you're like, you're not a fan of Italian movies, but would you say this is the best? And I would say one of the best. Yes, because it's not a Giallo. And Giallos are not the best. So of course I would. So, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's one that, like, grew on me. Like, well, no, it didn't... That's the wrong way to put it. It blew me away the first time I seen it. I just loved it. And I hadn't seen it since then, and watching it again, I even loved it more. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's like the perfect level of sleaze and David Hess and just horror, home invasion. It's a really, like, interesting movie. I mean, the story's a little the story is problematic.
Yeah, like the whatever twist, if you want to call it, at the end, I think is ridiculous and probably the worst part of the film.
Right.
And then sometimes I do feel like characters are just like standing around and there's not much use for a lot of them, but it didn't.
Being held hostage, buddy.
I know, but they're just like they're just, I don't know. It doesn't even feel like they're friends. It just feels like they're like, hey, we're all here together.
But I think that, like, that movie has one of the coolest posters too.
Yes, I would agree.
But if any of the listeners out there who's never seen House on the Edge of the Park, definitely see it, because it's a really great Italian film, directed by Deodato, and it is probably, like, when I think of, like, Italian horror, it's one of my favorites. Like, I think of Demon, Suspiria, House on the Edge of the Park, Zombie. Those are the ones I think of when I think of my favorite. Notice that none of those are giallos.
Yes, exactly.
But there are some really good giallos out there too. But I'm like you. I actually prefer the non-giallo Italian films. City of the Living Dead. One of my favorites.
Right.
The Beyond.
Right. Yeah, I don't even like zombie type movies that much, but I do enjoy like Italian zombie films typically. So, yes. Okay. Yes. Don't come at me about my reviews being too long, buddy, because it is your fault. So, after that, I watched, as per my Survive 05, The Cave. What? What?
Dude, how do I own 2 copies of Cavern?
Did you? I don't know.
Well, I do.
Okay, well then give me one.
Do you not have one?
No.
Did I take yours? Did you buy it?
I did not buy it. Maybe you I don't know. Maybe you. Why? Do you own them both and they're both brand new? Is what you're saying?
No, I grabbed. I in the stack of movies I got when we went and did movie shopping, I have 2 copies of Cavern.
That's what I just asked. So you bought 2.
They're not new though. They were used.
Oh my effing god! I mean, when we went freaking buying movies, are they new to you? New to you? Like, as in one of them wasn't on your shelf already. You just noticed. Yes, right. That's what I'm saying. You moron. Yeah, you must have bought 2, I guess, because I didn't. I remember you saying, "Oh, the cave. There's the cave," and then you were like, "Oh, and there's the Cavern. That's also 05." And
no, it's not the Cavern. It's just Cavern. It's Cavern.
I just googled it. It's the Cavern, 2005.
No, it's Cavern.
It's literally the Cavern. I have it on Google. But no, you were like, "There's the cave. There's the Cavern," and I grabbed the cave, and I knew you grabbed the Cavern, but I was thinking there was only 1 copy left because you had grabbed it. So you must have grabbed 2. You bought me 1, I guess, by accident, and I shall take it next time.
You shall pay me for it.
I shall not pay you anything.
Why?
I deserve a gift.
Okay, I will give you that and that alone for your birthday.
Buddy, I don't want the Cavern.
It sucks. It does suck.
I don't want that as a gift for my birth. I want a good thing. Okay, can I talk about moves? The Cave, 2005. The Cave is about these science people who, like, discover this cave. Dude, come on, stop interrupting me. They discover this cave, uncharted cave, and they go to explore it, and they find signs of life, but the signs of life are not good signs of life, and they try to kill them. I didn't really care for this move. I'm not a big fan of science moves. You know, it's like The Descent, but science-y, and I didn't like that too much, because it's always people like, "Oh, wow, the scales on this fish are 1,000,000 years old. That means it shall kill us right now."
Dude, shut up. That's not what they say.
I don't know, dude. I was having trouble really focusing on this one. I mean, there's a few cool moments. There's a few... It definitely uses special effects, but at the same time, it keeps them kind of, like, hidden away a lot of the time, so it's not too bad, but I just thought it was, like, it was okay. If you're a fan of cave moves, I could see you liking it, and science moves, I could definitely see you liking it, but for me, it wasn't really for me. I gave it like a 6 out of 10, because it's well made and fine and dandy, but I just did not care for it. Then after that, I put on Valerie on the Stairs from 2006, a Masters of Horror ep, and that's a season 2 episode, and that is about
Clive Barker story.
Yeah, about dude who moves into this like apartment thing for he's like a struggling writer trying to get published, and he moves into this place where he can essentially focus on his writing. I think it's like free of rent, and they just let people live here while they're trying to get published, and then once you get published, it's like get out and let the next loser get in. And while he's there, he encounters Valerie on the stairs, and which is pretty much a ghost that's on the stairs of this apartment, and she keeps like coming to him and stuff like that and targeting him. And I thought it was decent. I was kind of, you know, kind of on the background mostly, but I didn't think it was too bad. I thought it was, had some good moments. I like the setting. It reminded me a little bit of the first season with the dreams in the witch house.
Dreams in the witch house, yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I like the whole apartment, sort of setting. So I did enjoy it. I think gave that like a 6.5 or a 7. So, it was not too bad. And then after that, I watched the Last Exorcism 2 from 2013 as per my It's Only $1 series on YouTube. And, this one, like I said, got it at the Dollar Tree for a $1. And it's pretty bad. It's a pointless sequel to The Last Exorcism, the found footage film from 2010 that's pretty good and scary. And this is a sequel with the same actress returning as the character of Nell. And she's trying to, like, find her way back into society. They kind of like find her and put her in this home for troubled women to get back on their feet, and she's trying to get back to normal and remember what happens, but also start a new life. And but then of course some demon stuff starts happening once again, and it's just not that good. I mean, it's not a found footage movie. It's filmed like a normal basic film. It's cool they got her to come back, I guess, but it's just not, it lacks everything that the first one had, and it's a very pointless sequel, especially being called The Last Exorcism 2. It should have just been The Last Exorcism, period. So I gave that like a 3.5 out of 10, not very good. Then after that, I watched Mortuary as per my Survivo 5, that is the Tobe Hooper film, and I enjoyed this one. This was about a mom and her 2 kids, one being a teenager, one being like a littler girl. And they move to this really decrepit freaking house because she just got an offer to be the, you know, mortician in this new town. She's like older and went to college to start a new career. She gets this opportunity, comes to this town, and, you know, it's kind of focused on like the teenage boy going around and trying to make friends and whatnot. And then it turns out there's something weird about where they live. And there may be something sinister. I enjoyed it. First of all, I always like the mortuary setting, much like you and stuff like that, so I thought that was cool. And I like the teenage stuff. The kid, it's another one of those movies that's like set in a small town. He's working at a diner and going to a diner, and you have like kids kind of hanging out around the diner, so I thought that was cool. And, you know, it's a very basic movie. It feels low budget. The little girl actor was kind of atrocious in it, I will say that, but I thought it was enjoyable and had good atmosphere. I like the house they live in. Like I said, it's really decrepit, and just, I would be so mad if my mom decided, hey, we're going to go live in this horrible, shitty house, and you're going to have to change school so I can follow my dreams. How selfish. But I gave that I think I gave it either a 7 or a 7.5. And then after that, as per Moves for Fun, I watched Siren from 2016, and this, of course, is based off the VHS short, the first one, I think, called Amateur Night, which is a short that I thought was super creepy. That whole movie, VHS, blew my mind when I saw it. I thought it was very scary. Every single short in it really creeped me out, and segment, rather. So I always was curious on this, even though people tend to say it didn't really live up to the hype and wasn't that good. But, you know, it's about these guys. They go out on a bachelor party for their friend who is about to get married, and they go out to this strip club. The strip club sucks, so they meet up with this sketchy guy who's like, I could take you to somewhere better. And they're like, okay, let's go. And then they go to somewhere better. And it turns out, you know, there's sort of these, like, secret rooms and stuff, and there's this girl in the one room, and the guy suspects she might be kidnapped or held hostage there, so he tries to let her go. And, of course, that girl is the girl from that Amateur Night short, and, of course, the movie goes from there. I thought it was okay. It had some funny moments actually at the beginning. There was actually a little bit laugh out loud funny for me, so I thought that was interesting. The girl, I think it's the same girl who did play the succubus in that amateur night thing, so she's really creepy looking. She has like really big eyes and fits the part really well, so I did think she was good. The story though just kind of took away from the scariness I feel of this. I think it does better as a small segment and is more effective that way than trying to hash it out into a full movie, but overall it was okay. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Then after that I watched Annabelle from 2014. As per, I have to review these on Exploding Heads soon, and I wanted to get a head start, and I won't really give many opinions on this other than it's not that good of a move. So, Annabelle 2014. I've seen this movie too many times, too. I've seen it like 5 times for some reason. Then after that, I watched An American Werewolf in London, which I know we'll go see at drive-in, but I just felt like putting on something easy to watch the other night, from 1981. And I enjoy this movie quite a bit, even though I hate the director. I hate John Landis. Fuck John Landis. But, American Werewolf in London, I do like. I love how all the songs are wolf-based. I love the setting, especially at the beginning. The atmosphere is some of the best atmosphere I think I've ever seen in a film, if I'm being honest. Some of the comedy I could do without. I do feel like it gets to be a little bit much at times, but other than that, it's great. I think it has one of the best werewolf transformations, and I find the characters to be very likable in this one. You know, pretty small cast, main cast, that is, but I give this an 8.5 out of 10. Then after that, I watched Annabelle Creation 2017, just watched that today, and that's a good move. That's all I shall say. Then after that, I just watched The Tripper from 2006, David Arquette's movie. I did not like that too much. Have you seen this movie, buddy?
Yeah, I like it.
I didn't like it too much at all. It actually annoyed me because I was annoyed watching it because I thought I was going to like it, and I did not. And it's about like a bunch of hippies who go to a music festival in the woods, and turns out there's like this killer with like a Ronald Reagan mask going around killing everybody, and you know, it's supposed to be kind of like a trippy movie, but feels low budget. I didn't think the acting was that good, and it's just shot in a sort of jarring way that didn't work for me. So I gave it a 3 out of 10. I did not like it.
Yeah, we reviewed that on 22 Shots, like episode like 30 something or something.
Oh, I see.
Alright, my turn?
Yes.
Okay. So first up, I watched Ghost Story as a Patreon review. This movie was like really kind of interesting because it came out in 1981, but it feels like a throwback to ghost movies of like the 50s and 60s. It essentially follows this group of old men who have like a gentleman's club where they tell ghost stories, and a thing that happened way in their past that they haven't discussed like comes back to haunt them, essentially, involving a young girl. And there's like some really creepy imagery with like a like decaying woman face that's gets me. There's 2 really good jump scares early on in the movie that really got me. It's a little slow though. That's my biggest complaint. It's a 2-hour movie, and it starts off strong, and then there's a huge chunk in the middle that's a little boring, like with a flashback scene that goes on for like 20 or 30 minutes. That's just, it's a little much. But yeah, I think it's a really solid ghost movie. I really dug it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Arachnophobia from 1990, starring Jeff Daniels, actually, which is funny. John Goodman's also in there. He plays an exterminator. But this family moves to this new small town where somebody's body who was killed in like the jungles of like Brazil or something, or the Amazon or something, gets shipped home, and the thing that killed him was this super poisonous, venomous spider. And it kind of is unleashed in the town, and it begins to like mate with house spiders and create like these super spiders. And yeah, it's a killer spider movie. I miss when it came out in 1990. I miss when like killer animal and like eco horror nature run amok movies were like taken serious and actually tried to be made with good intentions, unlike like all the crap that we get nowadays, like the, you know, when we did Shark Week last year. I mean, most of those movies are complete crap, like the modern ones. And that's the case with like spider movies too, like just all of the snake movies. It's just all garbage CG. This movie has like real spiders in it, which are cool. So I like that, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I'd seen it once when I was a kid, but I barely remembered it. And then I watched Kingdom of the Vampire from 1991. There's about a dude working in a video store who takes care of his mother, and his mother is allegedly a vampire, and he starts dating this girl and stuff, and it's like a really low budget. It might be shot on video. I couldn't really tell. I think it is. But it's Tempe Entertainment, I believe, put it out. And yeah, it's not very good, honestly. It's a little boring. Came out in 1991. Did you end up watching that one?
No.
Yeah. I gave it a 4 out of 10. It's not really that good.
Anything with a title like that is something I don't want to watch. That sounds like a Hammer move.
Well, it's not at all. It reminded me a little bit of Mom, that movie that you liked from 1991.
Oh, I would have liked it.
Yeah, and that's it for me.
You suck. Alright, well, I guess we can talk about our Valentine's Day extravaganza.
Okay, our Valentine's Day extravaganza. So, yeah, we basically hung out. We went and got steaks. Stacks. And what did we make? We made stacks, shrimp scampi, and like roasted garlic and herb mushrooms.
Yes.
Portobellos. And yeah, we cooked that food, and then we watched a little How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
And then we
don't like watching movies while we eat.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not really big on actually eating while watching movies, especially.
This would have been, I would have literally puked if we watched these movies while eating. I was thinking that the whole time we watched the move, like how upset I would have been if we tried to eat and watch that.
Yeah, so instead we watched a couple, like 2 or 3 episodes of How I Met Your Mother, which I was trying to get you into that show because I was really into it when it was airing. And I love that show. It's amazing. Such a great show. And I've been slowly watching those with you every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then after we finished that and finished our food, we popped in good old Hellraiser.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
We were trying to decide what to watch. Last year we just picked 2 random movies. We did Return of the Living Dead 2 in spring. Obviously not completely random with the theme of romance or love. And we were going to do this last year, but I had recently watched them, so I didn't want to do it. But we did a randomizer, and it actually ended up on... I had a bunch of movies, and it ended up on Hellraiser, so we just decided to watch Hellraiser 1 and 2. Hellraiser 1, 1987, I believe?
Yeah, I think so. That's weird. I always think it's, like, older than that.
Nope, 1987. It follows a young girl. Well, it follows a young girl named Kirsty, whose father and his wife move into this house where his brother Frank used to live, and essentially Frank is a complete weirdo. And at the beginning of the movie, we learn Frank found this puzzle box that was always his, and he opens it, and basically a bunch of demonic looking things come out of the walls, and a bunch of hooks with chains basically tear his body to shreds, and he's killed up in the attic. Anyway, the father cuts his hand, and the blood mixes with Frank's remains, and Frank is resurrected, but as a basically like a little more than a skeleton.
Gross.
He has
He's
some meat
resurrected
on him.
as a gross.
Yep, as a gross. And the thing that we didn't know is that Julia, the Kirsty's dad's wife, had an affair with Frank, the brother. And he basically convinces her to bring meat people back to the house where she murders them, and then he sort of absorbs their bodies. And all the while you have these demonic Cenobites returning to sort of take somebody back to like hell with them. There's a lot to it that I'm just kind of glossing over. But they're essentially these entities, as they say, demons to some, angels to others.
Yes.
And they're all about this pleasure and pain and a mix of the two. And it's very poetic, the whole thing. It's very like high intellect type of dialogue there. And Doug Bradley plays the leader, Pinhead. And then there's a couple of side characters as well, like other demonic entities. What do you think of Hellraiser?
I do like it. It's one of those ones that I feel like I like more each time I see it. I haven't really watched this one a lot. I've probably only seen it. This might have actually only been my third time watching Hellraiser.
So you didn't grow up with this one?
No, because it was one of those ones that was probably too gross for. It was probably one that my mom would be like, "No, don't watch that." Even though she probably never seen it either. But you know, I didn't really watch gross out stuff back then. Hence why I didn't really watch Nightmare on Elm Street, because there was like just gross special effects. So yeah, I didn't grow up with it. I just watched it in probably since I met you, like in 2015 or 16. That was probably the first time I actually watched it. So not really nostalgic for me or anything, but I think it is a good film, and I think that the effects in it are grotesque and still hold up. You know, I mean, some of it looks a little bit fake, but I mean, some of the detail they put into, especially the just bodies, and like Frank is disgusting, and then that Julia is like in love with his gross stuff. It's just cringe almost. It's very disgusting. And I like the setting, how it's kind of like in that house a lot of the time, and it's you know, him up in that decrepit attic. So yeah, I do like Hellraiser, and you know, Pinhead isn't really in it that much, but when he is.
Yeah, I mean,
Doug
for him
Bradley's
to
really
really make his grand entrance, it's about an hour into the movie.
Yeah, I think it's over an hour too, because we looked
it's over an hour.
Yeah, we like looked at the time, and you're like, it's an hour in, and then there was still like 5 or 10 more minutes until he actually showed up. So, kind of crazy.
Yeah, because he became, you know, such an icon.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, the cool thing about Hellraiser is, like, the creativity and the world building of Clive Barker, because there's really nothing like it.
Yes, that is
like,
true.
even the fact that these creatures are from hell, but it's not like the Christian hell, fire and brimstone that we're used to. It's like this own unique hell. And there's all these lines between the first two films that are, like, so amazing. Like, you know, it is not hands that call us, it is desire.
Right.
And, like, please, no tears, such a waste of good suffering.
Yes.
And the box, you opened it, we came.
Yes, they have come.
Yes. And we have eternity to know your flesh.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean,
right.
there's like so many good lines in the first two films. Like, it's insane. Like I said, you know, angels to some, demons to others. That's like such a interesting line, because, like, I mean, I've read Hellbound Heart a long time ago, which is the novella it's based on. And, like, they kind of explain more about, like, what's going on. Like, even at the beginning of the novella, when Frank is opening the box, like, it's describing the insane amount of sensation that he feels. Like, there's a long description of like the dust particles in the attic landing on his eyeball, and the like sensation of feeling that flies through his body of like just that. It's supposed to essentially heighten your pleasure and pain to the maximum ability of like otherworldly feelings, you know, like to where you could literally feel a little dust particle flying through the air and landing on your eye. It's like this massive rush of feeling. It's like super sensitive to everything. So that's sort of the concept there, and the idea that like pain and pleasure are like one and the same on different spectrums to different people. It's kind of an interesting thing that they don't go into a ton in the movies, but you get the general concept. It's these people, like Frank is looking for a new high, basically. He's like, you know, you get the sense that he's fucked so many girls and, you know, did so much crazy stuff and probably did a bunch of drugs. Like, he's just looking for anything to sort of heighten his sensations further. And that's the type of people that seek out this box.
Yes.
But he escapes them because obviously, like, once you have that, it's probably not good.
Right, yes.
You probably want out. But yeah. And then Hellraiser 2 picks up after the first one. Kirsty's in like a mental hospital where she meets this other little girl has problems and is a mute, and she's really good at puzzles, go figure. And the Dr. Chenard is really into this weird shit too, and he essentially knows about the lament configuration, and he essentially opens the box and resurrects Julia. And yeah, disgusting.
Yes.
Even though he technically doesn't open the box, he just brings and I told Carly when the scene was on, it's like the only scene in horror movies that I look away at. The only one is when he brings this mental patient down into his office or his home, and the bloodstained mattress that Julia was on, he gives this guy a razor blade, a straight razor, and this guy is so beyond messed up that he thinks that there's bugs and insects crawling in his skin. He starts hacking away at his body, and it's I always look away.
Right, pussy.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, my cousin Shannon owned the first Hellraiser on VHS, and we would watch it like all the time, and it was one of those titles where we would put it in and then it would be like too much for us and we would stop watching it. But we'd watch it a few times. It's like when you're a kid, like certain times you can watch something and certain times you can't. It's not like once you do it you're able to do it forever.
Yeah.
So sometimes we wouldn't make it through it and it was like too scary or something, but I'm talking like 5 or 6 years old with this thing. And I remember one of the first times that I watched 1, 2, and 3, they were airing on TV, and it was like after school. They were doing like a Hellraiser marathon, and my grandparents, I really wanted to watch it, but like they were going somewhere, and they let me stay home alone. I was in like 2nd grade or something to watch the Hellraiser movies, and they were really scary. I was super scared.
Buddy, don't say that they let you stay home alone. They're gonna get policed.
No, buddy, that was like in the 90s.
Nobody. The cops will come.
You know what's funny about us watching these? One of my favorite YouTubers just posted a video today talking about the first 2 Hellraisers.
Yeah?
Yeah, his name's Mountain Top 9. And dude, he just like cracks me the hell up. Like, I'll send you the video, but he's not like an amazing like editor YouTuber. Like, you know, like the biggest YouTubers, they like, you know, show all the clips of the movies while talking about it, and it's all like professional and stuff. He's not like one of those. He does show clips of the movies, but it's mainly just him standing in front of the camera talking. Yeah. Like kind of how we do videos.
Yeah.
But he just has so much infectious energy to his videos that he only has like under 4,000 subscribers. But I've been watching his videos since like he started, or a little after that when he had like 300 subscribers or like 200, and he just like cracks me up. His like the way his voice is and like the way he like talks, because he like cusses a lot and stuff. It's just really funny. But he told a similar story of when he was like 5 or 6, staying home watching them on HBO or something like that. And he's really funny because he tells this story about how after he watched it, he was like found this little box in his grandma's like house or something that was like a little like the size of the lament configuration, and it had like a similar color, and he was like trying to open it like it was like the Pinhead box. And he's like now if you remember when I told the story about when I first seen Child's Play, I tried to go over and say the lines that Chucky said over the doll to try to bring it to life. And he's like, that's one thing, but I don't think I would have been too happy if like my flesh was ripping off afterward. He's like, I don't know what I was thinking. And he's just really, really fun video, man. That guy kills me. I was watching on my way to work today. And yeah, I'll send you the video. You gotta check this guy out. He's really funny.
All right.
So yeah, that's our Valentine's Day extravaganza. And what do you think of Hellraiser 2?
I don't like it as much as the first one because it gets a little too. I mean, the whole ending is like a little more fantasy and more into the Hellraiser world, and I think I liked it a little bit more grounded in the reality and stuff like that. I know a lot of people like part 2 more. I think I used to hear that at least, but I mean, I don't like it. Like I give part 2 an 8 out of 10, and then the first one I give an 8.5. So it's not that far off. But
I'm a 9.5 on the first Hellraiser and an 8.5 on the second.
Jeez, I see.
But I like them all except for probably like part 4. I don't really like, but the other ones I really like them. And maybe Hellworld I think is really sucky too.
Yeah. Yes, buddy. I can't say that I agree, but okay.
So yeah, that is our Valentine's Day extravaganza. Now let's get into our featured review of Psycho Goreman.
All right, Psycho Goreman.
So Psycho Goreman was directed by Steven Kostanski, and he is one of the guys who is part of Astron 6. Astron 6 is a Canadian film production and directing company founded in 2007 with such classics as Manborg, Father's Day from Troma, The Editor from 2014, which was the movie's #1 film. It's like almost like a spoof film on giallos. The Void, Steven Kostanski directed The Void, which was a very popular film from 2016. And one of my favorites of theirs is Leprechaun Returns from 2018.
Ooh.
Yes.
Cool.
But yeah, they've come a long way. They've made a lot of cool movies and stuff. They're now, I know that The Editor wasn't directed by Kostanski. He did The Void and Leprechaun Returns, and I think maybe Father's Day. Yeah, Father's Day, Manborg. He directed most of them. But yes, Psycho Goreman, which is a film from this brand new year here of 2021. I think it had a festival circuit release last year in 2020. But what do we got for a plot there?
All right, PG, Psycho Goreman. Siblings Mimi and Luke unwittingly resurrect an ancient alien overlord. Using a magical amulet, they force the monster to obey their childish whims and accidentally attract a rogues gallery of intergalactic assassins to small-town suburbia. Yes. And it's a straight-up horror comedy. And yeah, what did you think of the move, buddy?
I mean, it's mostly comedy. Like, it's not really a horror film.
Yeah.
But other than the fact that it's like dealing with like murders and stuff.
And there's like gore and blood and guts, like that type of stuff.
I think this movie has so much heart and it's so much fun.
Yes. when you said we were doing this, honestly, I was dreading it because I saw a few like pictures of it, and I kept seeing people rate it on Letterboxd, and the title, and just seeing because all I was seeing was like the like the monster guy, and thinking I'm not gonna like this at all. I don't even know what this is, and I didn't know
it almost looks like sort of like something that would come from Japan.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like a comedy either, so I just threw it on, didn't really go into it knowing anything about it, and I had a fun time with it. I laughed out loud several times during this movie, and I was surprised. Like, I was just like, wow, this is really funny, and it's just such a funny concept, these little kids find this monster, and they're just taking it around.
And this isn't, like, just a monster. He identifies as the Archduke of Nightmares. He's like the leader of it's like, the way that I was thinking of it is like, imagine in it, if there was like an amulet that controlled Pennywise, and all of a sudden all the Losers Club have this amulet and Pennywise has to listen to these kids. That's essentially what it's like.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's it's really I think that Mimi steals the show. Like, she's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was her first role too. She is very good. Like, at first I thought she was gonna come off as annoying, but in this movie, that's like kind of the point too. She's just so over the top. She's just so controlling. Like, her brother's kind of almost like a pussy compared to her.
Yeah, and it's funny because she's the younger sister, and she bosses the brother around. Yeah. And she bosses this giant monster around. And like really she bosses her parents around and her friends. Like, she's just like the leader of everything. And it's just funny because she's like, I'm gonna call you Psycho Goreman, and you're just like, where the hell would you come up with that? But it totally, like, you look at it, it sounds like something a kid would come up with, and it looks like something that fits. Like, you're like, yeah, that totally looks like a Psycho Goreman. And then it's just funny because they call him PG for short. Yeah. So like, come on, PG. Which is funny because I kept thinking of like PG rated. It's like they're completely like taking the balls off of this guy, the most dangerous, monster in the universe. Like, he destroys galaxies.
In the whole movie, he just seems pissed like the whole time, and they're just controlling him. He's like, I will kill you eventually.
They're like, I brought you some magazines, and she's like, they have hunky boys, and he's like, I don't like hunky boys. But then later he's like, not my hunky boys. He's all mad and shit. Yeah, and it's like he always has these like lines where he's like, I will devour and eat your blood. You know what I mean? Like, this, the writing in this is incredible when it comes to like the funny things that are happening. Like, the lines that he has where he's like acting like a monster in this like horrible thing, and then to couple it with like these kids and their childlike nature, it's just hilarious. It just works so well.
So he's like, I shall give you an honorable death. It's like super gory and over the top, and they're like, no, they're like, we don't want to watch that.
Yeah, you fought well, so I will give you an honor. You fought with honor, so I will give you an honorable death. It's like this horrible death. And it's like, even like the little side characters, like when they turn the cop into like, he's like, she asked him a question, the cop like it says that he understands. He's like, he is just an empty husk. He will tell you what you want to hear.
And then that little brain John, I love that guy.
I know you said you liked him, huh?
Yes, I'm a fan of him.
Alice.
Yeah, he was so cute. And then at the end, he's like at that dinner, ew. And then there's a part where he's like, shall I ever be normal again? And she's like, probably not. It's funny.
But I like you just the way you are.
Yeah, it's cute.
And then, like, I don't know, it's just, it's completely unserious. Like, even, like, the fact that they're, like, just walking in the town and he, like, kills someone, it's just, it's completely unserious.
This reminds me of something like in the Goonies, like them bringing home, what's his name? The ogre fucking thing.
Sloth?
Yes. Like, that's what it reminds me of, like, because it's just, like, it reminds me of how I always bring up, I think it was Christian on Exploding Heads, whenever they're like, you're gonna come live with us, and in reality, the parents would just be like, what? This thing's not coming to live with us? Like, little kids just don't care, and in this movie, it's like they have this monster, and the parents in this film are just like, what the heck is that? And it's like a monster.
It was funny when the dad, like, he kept saying he made dinner for the family, but he just like microwaved some chicken.
Okay, the mom's like, what have you done?
And then he has a little tear swell up in his eye.
Yeah.
He's like, you're welcome.
Oh.
Oh, dude. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this movie is just like, some people aren't going to like it because it is just pure silliness.
Yeah.
But this is, like, and these aren't my type of movies. Like, I think even the other night when I was on Skype with Moods, he's like, what did you think? And I was like, I loved it. He's like, oh, really? Like, because I'm not big on, like, comedy and silly shit, usually. Mm. But this is, I think whenever, like, they do it and it has heart and the writing is good. You know, the writing is really good in this film. Like, the jokes land and the situational comedy that's in here is on point, and I think that's what makes these type of movies be able to work, is like you have to have strong writing and acting and characters, and honestly, like, everything in this movie was good.
I agree. And it's not like it's almost like serious in a way. It's not over the top and goofy, and that's, I think, works for me, because like I said, I laughed out loud a few times.
Everybody plays it straight-faced.
Yeah, that's what exactly.
And that's what's fun.
Yes, it makes it all the more funny. So, I definitely recommend this film. As I said, I went in thinking this is not going to be something that appeals to me, but it surely did.
Right.
So, yes.
Alright, so, do we have Letterbox Reviews?
Yes, hold on. I have saved one on my phone, and it is by some guy named Freyer. 4.5 stars. He says, it exudes a pure joyfulness on every level. It's like an episode of Power Rangers given an R rating, but instead of skewing towards the edginess associated with the mature rating, it revels in the camp and zaniness of a children's program. Creature effects that are both impressive and downright goofy, and more gore than you can shake a stick at. Loved the performances, especially the young Nita Josie Hannah, who has such startlingly commanding energy and outrageously funny delivery. Undoubtedly gonna be one of my top films of the year.
I'm the heckin' best.
She's like, frick you.
Frick you.
Stupid.
I love that song.
Yeah. So he gave that 4.5 stars, and then this guy named Fred gave it 2 stars. Fred says, folks, meet the single most annoying character of the 21st century. No, I'm not referring to the titular monster, but to his captor, a little girl who will make you beg for the sweet relief of total annihilation mere moments after meeting her. I'm calling it now. Everyone else can go home. Mimi is the most obnoxiously spoiled brat you'll ever know, and boy, does she spoil what could have been silly derivative fun. She is the bane of anyone who doesn't watch this film while on several kinds of drugs, and she is most certainly well on her way to anchoring a primetime Fox News show. I haven't rooted against a character so much since Game of Thrones, and even the worst of those characters had at least 1 or 2 comparably more favorable qualities. Poor Psycho Goreman. Even monsters deserve a modicum of mercy, or ideally even the slightest revenge against their memes. P.S. 1 star for PG being into hunky boys, and another for some pretty cool absurd creature designs and practical makeup. PPS, anyway. Skip this Drek and watch the classic and infinitely better show this egregiously rips off. So this guy is a hater of the little girl, basically. Which is stupid.
What a little crybaby. Oh, the little girl was annoying, and she was full of herself. Oh, shut up.
The thing is,
Wonderwall Oasis. Fred, whatever your name is. Crybaby bitch.
Why'd you just call him Wonderwall Oasis?
That's what it says on his.
I wasn't. Oh, I didn't look at that, but whatever. Yeah, and this girl acting like this in like a serious horror film, I could see being annoying, but she's like supposed to be the way she is in this movie, so it's like it works well. It doesn't come off as like I can't watch this movie because she's really annoying. So.
This guy's a little crybaby.
Yes.
Oh, the little girl character made me mad.
I noticed a lot of these reviews are like comparing this. It's like this movie meets this movie meets this TV show. Like all these reviews are like comparing it to a mixture of other stuff, which is weird. But
He also only gave Bug a 3.
Oh, what a loose hair! I hate loose hairs.
Yeah, loose hair.
Yeah, hate loose hairs. Anyway, would you like to rate this move?
Yeah, I really liked this move. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. It held my attention the whole time. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a 8 out of 10.
All right. I am right there with you. I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. Fun move. I recommend.
I recommend too. Best move I've seen of the year.
Yes. So far, yes, definitely. So.
I'm looking at this guy's letterbox, and he's watching a bunch of shit that it's not his type of movie.
Buddy, leave Fred alone.
Freak you, Fred.
Yeah. Heckin' best.
Not Fred.
Right, heckin' worst.
Anyway. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode of His and Hers Movie Podcast. Next week, we're finally going to be able to see and review Saint Maud. It is now officially out for rent, so we're able to check it out. It is a film that was released in 2019 in the festival circuit, A24 film. It's gotten some mixed reviews from what I've seen so far, but it follows a pious nurse who becomes dangerously obsessed with saving the soul of her dying patient.
Cool. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, so we'll check out that one. We were going to do Willy's Wonderland or something like that, which is the new Nick Cage film. But since this actually is officially released now, we'll do this, and maybe we'll get to that one next time. But we'll see what else is out there.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
It doesn't sound good to you. Don't lie.
No, it doesn't.
You hate Nick Cage.
You're right. No, I don't hate him. I just hate how everyone all of a sudden is like, oh, Nick Cage, crazy Nick Cage, Nick Cage. Everyone knows, oh, crazy Nick Cage. Like, no one used to say that about him.
See, I always liked Nick Cage because I watched Con Air growing up.
I liked him back in the day when he played in, like, that City of Angels movie. My mom always liked that film. And, National Treasures, that Knowing movie.
National Treasures is awesome.
Yeah, those films are good. We used to I feel like I watched those so much in school. That was always like the go-to. Okay, Christmas break is coming up. Let's just put this movie on.
We watched Forrest Gump in school.
Oh, we might have did that too. I don't remember.
Maybe
not.
I mean,
maybe not.
See Jenny's butt cheeks in there, I think.
Yeah, no, we didn't watch that.
We watched that. We watched a bunch of stuff we probably weren't allowed to. Because I remember when I was in middle school, our gym was gone because they were renovating the school. So we spent every gym class in the auditorium watching movies. And, like, the gym teacher just was, like, didn't give a F. He would just play whatever. Mm-hmm. And he got in trouble. Like, somebody's parent complained that they showed something in there that had F word in it or something. It might have been Forrest Gump.
Well, I'm trying to think. There was a few movies that we watched in school, and I remember the teacher would be like, okay, now when we get, I gotta remember when this part's coming up, I have to fast forward it, because, like, they would say the F word. Or we were watching some movie in history class my freshman year called The American President with Martin Sheen, and there's a part where he's like...
Is that where he says, Martin Sheen played Kennedy once? Is that what they're referencing?
Oh, it might.
From
It
the
might be.
Goonies. Remember when he's like listing off the coins that he has, and he's like Martin Sheen. He's like George Washington. Martin Sheen is. She's like Martin Sheen, and she's like, that's John F. Kennedy, you idiot. He's like, well, Martin Sheen played Kennedy once.
Maybe, I don't know. The movie was boring. Either way, he says the F word.
Dude.
I'm just, no, that could be it.
I'm sick and tired of you disrespecting the Goonies.
No, I wasn't saying the Goonies is boring. I'm saying the American President movie was boring, so I don't remember if that's the president he was playing or if it was.
I just feel like you disrespect the Goonies.
That's not what I was saying.
Disrespect How I Met Your Mother. You disrespect good moves.
I don't. Anyway, the F word came up, the F word came and went, and the teacher missed it, and he was like, oh, I missed it, darn it. Don't tell your parents that you heard that. And it was funny.
Yeah, well, whatever.
And then one time, this is messed up, but one time in 8th grade, we were watching, there was a substitute teacher, and the movie we were watching was like, I think it was like a Diary of Anne Frank movie, so, you know, a Holocaust film. And, there's a part in the movie that the substitute was instructed to fast forward through because they're all naked, and he accidentally fast forward and paused right when you saw the naked people, and the whole class was like, oh shit, oh my god! And he was like pissed. He like flipped out. He was like, stop it! It was scary.
What a bunch of losers.
That's what you did in school when you heard bad words or saw nudity or got in
I feel
fights.
like we were more mature.
Not in 8th grade.
Yeah, in 8th grade.
No, buddy, in middle school, that was like the peak of immaturity.
I was mature.
Dude, you didn't do things.
Alright, that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.